It's like the news, but for nerds.
Nerd Adventures, what is up? It is Josh, and it's a real slow news day, so I decided to take a moment to tell you a crazy rumor that I've heard that I've now had confirmed by not one, but two really good inside sources. I can't say for 100% that this is real because I have reached out to other people that were unable to confirm this, but it does make sense and track with a lot of different things that we think will be going on for Star Wars, and it also explains some of the crazy things we've been hearing about Star Wars with regards to No Mando Season 3, with regards to the Book of Boba Fett taking 7 months to shoot, and all of these different things. So let me just kind of get right into the juiciest part of this, and that is that I have heard that the Book of Boba Fett will include Luke Skywalker, Grogu, and Djarin, the Mandalorian.
What did you say?
And again, this is treated as rumor for now, but I got to tell you guys, it feels very good to me. Like I said, the two people that I have had this confirmed with are both very good and reliable, but I can't confirm it. There were certain people out there that were like, no, I haven't heard, or no, I don't think so. The most secure part of this is the thing about Djarin, okay? So Djarin being in the Book of Boba Fett. A lot of us thought this was likely going to be the case. It also helps to explain Pedro Pascal's comments in that interview that he did with Ewan McGregor. That whole interview was super fun, but there was something weird going on there, right? Where, Ewan was like, oh yeah, like you guys, and you're doing your filming, and it's, Mando Season 3, and Pedro's pretty much like, no, we're not filming Season 3. And then remember when Jordan Mason, who's an insider and a scooper out there, came out and said, oh no, they definitely have been filming The Mandalorian Season 3, but then he was sort of like, oh, okay, but it could be this other thing. And now we're pretty much all thinking, especially after a report coming out from Collider that sort of confirmed that whatever was being filmed right now is absolutely not The Mandalorian Season 3, that they are really treating the Book of Boba Fett like The Mandalorian Season 3, except that its primary lens will focus through the character of Boba Fett. Now, we've also heard that the Book of Boba Fett is going to talk about different things with regards to that character, explain how he got out of the Sarlacc pit, explain other things going on with that character's past, which could tie into cool events moving forward, okay? Din Djarin being in the show makes a lot of sense, as he would know about Boba, perhaps even know of his plans, and then want to communicate with him in the future, and if he is indeed pushing to try to unite the Mandalorians, which we think he might be doing, and now hanging out with Katie Sackhoff's Bo-Katan character, who's, by the way, totally freed up now that Rangers isn't a thing. She's freed up to just be there with Din Djarin, which I always thought was better plan. I was always confused when I heard, oh, the show Rangers is a Katie Sackhoff, Gina Carano show with them just sort of being out there trying to hunt down criminals and whatnot. Again, I always thought that was weird. I was like, how's she going to do that with the Darksaber thing? Wouldn't she be with Din if she's still trying to unite Mandalorians? What's she doing over with Cara Dune? Doesn't make sense. So now she's free to be more with Din Djarin, and him being in the show is a shoo-in. I'm very confident that is going to be the case. I'm sure you are as well. Let me know your thoughts about that part of it, but I also just want to transition right into the big crazy news, and that is that Luke Skywalker and Grogu, I would assume together, are going to appear in the Book of Boba. Now, for me, this feels like something that will happen at the end of the Book of Boba, and perhaps even at a time when Din Djarin is reconnected with Boba, and there's some kind of a crazy mission or horrible crazy thing that is going on. And I do remember at the time, after the insane and awesome episode of The Mandalorian where Luke comes in, saves everybody, and takes Grogu, there were a lot of people talking about it in the community how that might not be the last time you see Luke Skywalker. And in fact, some of the people that I talked to were like, oh, dude, Luke Skywalker ain't going nowhere. That's going to be a big push for Disney to have Luke being a character with Grogu and other Jedi, perhaps, in this Mandoverse, in this thing that I've called for a long time, the Filoni-Verse, because I continue to believe that Dave Filoni is pulling a lot of strings, pulling a lot of this together, and I think it would just absolutely make sense that he would want to bring Luke Skywalker in. And a lot of that has to do with the old reports and the old things that I heard about Grand Admiral Thrawn being brought into the Filoni-Verse and being positioned as a massive villain for the Mandoverse or the Filoni-Verse, okay? We know that the Ahsoka show, which seems to be a very big deal for Disney and for Dave, you know, you've got the Barriss Offee rumor there, right? But we know that that show, according to the leaked logline, will involve directly the search for Ezra Bridger and Grand Admiral Thrawn, which is, of course, set up in the Ahsoka episode of the Mando Season 2. And with a lot of the stuff we've heard about Dave Filoni and the different projects that he's doing and being involved with and some of the things he's pushing for, including the Inquisitors, including, you know, Grand Admiral Thrawn in live action as a big villain, I think Dave might be doing a version of Heir to the Empire in the Filoni-Verse setting. He's setting up the Mandalorians to play their part, and he's setting up Thrawn, of course, to, I think, be the big bad, to be the Thanos of the Filoni-Verse. And you would want Luke Skywalker working with a bunch of rebels and just people in the galaxy, bounty hunters and all sorts of people to try to go take Grand Admiral Thrawn out. And I think this would be a big deal, man, something that fans would really get into. And so the report is, guys, that I'm hearing from some pretty good sources that Luke Skywalker, Grogu, and Din Djarin will be in the Book of Boba Fett, making it potentially one of the craziest, amazing, awesome pieces of Star Wars content that I think, if it all goes the way I think it will go, is going to, again, set us up for a very crazy Filoni-Verse, something that will be positioning the greatest hero in all of Star Wars, Luke Skywalker, as a big part of all of these things moving forward. Remember when we were all like, man, I just wish we got more of Luke in the sequel trilogy, right? Like, if he's this grand thing that's supposed to come back and save everybody, like, I just wish we got more of him and more context and more people talking about him. And it seems like that Lucasfilm and Dave Filoni really are pushing for that to be a big thing in live action. And so I just wanted to report on that on this slow news day, just talk about this crazy Star Wars news, and I want to know what you think about this report. Again, treat it as rumor for now, but I've got a couple people that are saying this is real, and perhaps some of you have heard something as well. Reach out to me if you had. As always, I love hearing your insights. Some of you guys actually have crazy connections out there. It's fascinating to me how this all goes down. But again, let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. I did want to make mention of the fact that things are going to be a little bit weird on this channel for the next week, because our live streaming channel, where we do a ton of live streams, and you should absolutely check out because it will be coming out of jail hopefully within a week. Yeah, that live streaming channel has been shut down by a copyright strike from Warner Brothers. I did a big video about it yesterday. Check it out. It's weird, but essentially we're doing a lot of our streams over on this channel, so we might cut the frequency of videos a little bit. We're definitely cutting the frequency of streams. Just want to let content breathe over here. So for at least the next week or so, or maybe if this appeal gets released early, knock on wood, things will be a little bit odd over here. But check out some of the live streams if you have not. We have a ton of fun on those live streams. I think you will dig it. And again, those will be returning to our live streaming channel. When that channel becomes unbanned, please let that happen for the love of bejeebus. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video.